Hello, I'm Himamshi Parmar, and today I'm going to discuss about symbols in final solution by Mahesh Dattani. And this here I have put all the symbols, and these are my personal information. And I want to begin with about the play. So, Final Solution is three-act play written by Mahesh Dattani, and it was originally published in 2009, and it was first performed at Guru Nanak Bhavan, Bangalore on 10th July 1993. The play is also translated into Hindi by Shahid Anwar, and the characters that are in the play are is Daksha, the young girl. Hardika is the old self of Daksha. Smita, Aruna, Ramnik Gandhi, Bobby, Javed, and chorus, Hindu and Muslim chorus. Also, there are mention of two other girls, Zareen and Tasneem. They are not in the play, but their names are going to be mentioned. Major themes of the play are India after independence, casteism, importance of education, and communalism. And I have also here gave link of the play performance Final Solution that was directed by Arvind Gore and presented by Asmita Theatre, and the play is in the Hindi language. Now these are the symbols of my presentation and of the play, and the first symbol I have taken is diary. So we have two reference of diary. First, when in the beginning of the play Daksha is writing a diary, a young girl, newly married girl writing a diary, and the second reference we find that Hardika is reading a diary. Hardika is the old self of Daksha, and she is reading a diary in the latter part. So diary here came as the symbol of history, symbol as a of history. When Daksha is writing diary, she is writing about her how her in-law treating her, and what about her house of her in-law. And we find that later on she write about how India get independence and what was the situation at the day when India are going to be get independence at midnight. So this how she is try to reflect history. She also talk about uh, her own experience with her Muslim friend Zareen and her family, and how her family are uh, try to harm her in-laws. That also we find here, and we find that here his Daksha, by her writing the diary, um, try to let try to make truth, try to bring truth that what was happened in the history. So we find that when power try to suppress the fact and history, diaries are help to reflect the truth, and literature are also helping to truth. For example, Anne Frank's diary, the diary of a young girl, we find that it is talking about how Nazis are humiliate the Jews. Similar way, here the Daksha's diary are trying to say the history after independence and before independence. But we find that diaries are not always trustworthy, because the diaries are based on the one's own personal perspective and experience. So uh, we find that Daksha believing that Zareen's family did something wrong with the family of her in-laws. But at the end, when Ramnik said her truth, that what was the happened in the past, then Daksha's prejudice got break. When Ramnik told her that it is not Zareen's family who tried to harm, or we can say did something wrong with her family, but it is the family of Daksha who put fire on the shop of Zareen's father, because they want to establish their business there. So that how we find that Daksha's diary is also not trustworthy, but diary here came as a symbol of history. The second symbol I have taken is Javed's cap and the idol of Lord Krishna. So Javed's cap is a symbolically it is a symbol of Muslim identity, where idol of Lord Krishna is a symbol of Hindu identity. We find that Javed and Bobby both are in the house of Smita, and there they are just mocking with Smita, and they are just talking with each other. And in between, suddenly Smita snatched Javed's cap and wear it. And similarly, we find in the Act 3 that Bobby, a Muslim boy, took idol of Lord Krishna in his hand, and then the long monologue of him. So by exchanging their identities symbolically, they try to vanish difference between Hindus and Muslims, that they are equal. A Muslim boy is taking idol of Lord Krishna, and a Hindu girl Smita is wearing the Javed's cap. This how they are trying to vanish the difference between Hindu Muslim, and they all are like we can say Bobby and Smita both are educated, so we can say that what difference education make. The third symbol I have taken is mask. We find that chorus are wearing mask, and there are two type of mask are used in the play: Hindu and Muslim mask, and they are occasionally exchange. Chorus are occasionally exchanging their mask, and this changing of mask are showing their change, showing the symbolically changing their identity from Hindus to Muslim and Muslims to Hindu. And this changing of identity, we can say, representing the commune, are saying that exchanging this identity are showing that how they are changing the mindset of each other. We can say, for example, chorus, when they wear Hindu mask, they are become against the Muslim, and when they are wear Hindu mask, they are become against the uh, Hindus. So this how they are exchanging their identities. And the fourth and last symbol I took is photo of Noor Jahan. So we find photo of Noor Jahan, a Pakistani singer, in the room of Daksha, and Daksha also mentioned that Noor Jahan is her favorite singer. That dialogue I have taken here. She said that, and I heard a Noor Jahan song can be heard faintly from the window above the voice of Noor Jahan. The window was shut, but I'm sure they must all be sitting around the gramophone listening to my favorite song. In the page number 15, we find this dialogue, and through this symbol, we find that the the art has no boundaries of religion, or we can say nation or anything. They have no boundaries. Like for example, for Daksha, to listening the song of Pakistani singer is banned by her in-laws, because they are now India is independent, and they don't want any Muslim things, or we can say the things which is related to Muslim in their house. And the same way we find that when, but still Daksha has that deep love for Noor Jahan's song, and she is not believing that this religion or national any kind of boundaries are should be in between the art. So this how we say that we can say that art is free from all these religious boundaries, should be free from all these religious and national boundaries. And these are my citations, and thank you.
So Himanshi, my question is, you have statement that by changing their mask, they change their identity. So what is your opinion on this statement?
Chorus are changing their identities by using various masks, Hindu mask and Muslim mask. So by changing the mask, they are changing their mentality. For example, when they wear Hindu mask, they have mentality against Muslim, and when they wear Muslim mask, they have mentality against something prejudice, or we can say something anger against Hindus. So this how by changing their mask, they are changing their mentality. The person are same, but they are changing that. How it is reflecting that how Hindus are after independence, and how Muslims after independence thinking about each other, and what was the condition.
Hello, Imanshi. I asked the question. Have you seen the Aruna point of view of religion thing are different to Seema and Daksha? Because the Daksha is the her grand mother-in-law and Smita is daughter. But both are educated. But Aruna is also things like religions, all things pujas. And if you are different, find the difference. And,
Yes, I have find that Aruna's point of view about religion is totally different than Daksha, or we can say Daksha and Smita, because somewhere we find that Daksha are in the Daksha is writing a diary, so we find that she is educated, must be educated, and uh, Smita is also in the college. That is the that thing is mentioned in the play, so she is also educated, so their perspective is something beyond the religious boundaries and some kind of things, religious barriers. But Aruna, it's still there, like she is like deeply believing in the religion, or we can say she is uh, uh, that Muslim boys, when the two Muslim boys, Javed and Bobby, came into their house, the only Aruna and Hardika is there who don't like this. Other, the Ramnik and Smita is like that. Okay, if they want to stay here, they can stay. Because lack of education of Aruna, we find that somewhere she is lacking in, like in the out, not coming out of the boundaries of religion or other things. So this how they are making difference.